Taking money from investors is easy, but persuading them to give it to you can be quite difficult. The body reacts in the same way to being anxious and nervous as it does to being excited and stimulated. Sweaty palms, accelerated heartbeat, butterflies in the stomach. So before you start, try to change the context of your situation. Try and think you're about to do something exciting and stimulating. Now, if you've ever seen that show, you will know that pitches have a very clear and solid structure. This is often tailored to certain criteria that you might get in competitions or assignments. But the most important thing to remember is that when you're up here, you are the storyteller telling your story. And every story has a structure. So start with that. First up, the hook. This is when people bring in their nan, or a rock band, or just wear something weird. Whatever you decide to do, make sure that it relates back to your pitch. It doesn't have to be something over the top, but it does have to be something that grabs attention. Outline the problem. This is where you try to relate to your investors. So tell them the scale of the problem and why there needs to be a solution. Open your heart, be personal, and focus on the who and the why. Next, put forward your solution. Whether this be your business, your idea, or your product, this is where you sell it. You're trying to connect with your investors, so don't overcomplicate the problem and the solution section. Just make sure they understand it. Now that you've got their attention and led them to water, this is where you go into the detail of the story. Very much the what, the how, and the when. This is where you talk about your business model and opportunities, your target market, your marketing plan, your successes, and your team. Now, this can get quite complicated, so make sure you have scripted exactly what you want to say. Ideally, this should be memorized, but you can use cue cards to remember the key points. Now, if you need to read this completely scripted, make sure you use bold text and a presentable folder. Also, don't forget to look up and make eye contact with the audience to emphasize key points. What can really help guide you and your audience through your pitch are visual aids. PowerPoints can be your best friend, but remember they are there to enhance your pitch, so don't just put your script up there in bold text. A bad PowerPoint can kill a really good pitch. So just make sure you focus on the graphics, pictures, simple bullet points, and not too much detail. You want your audience listening to you, not reading your PowerPoint. And make it pretty. There are loads of different softwares available for presentations, so just pick one that suits you. And when you finish telling your story, don't forget the big ask. This is the moment of truth. This is where you tell your investors what you want and what you are prepared to offer. So be fair and accurate. Tell them about any investments you already have and what the set structure is. This is where you tell them what you'll do with their money. Have your ideal situation in your head and know what you're willing to compromise on. Answer any questions and take on any input. Your pitch doesn't end when you finish. Your investors will be evaluating how you take on input, so be polite and coachable. And who knows? You might just be able to sell unicorns to dragons. Wow, what does that even mean?